This is the Transformers Beast Wars Barney the Dinosaur. A quick look at the packaging shows that it has the retro vintage artwork of the original release, and just like the original, the tongue in this can also spray water. I wonder what else it can spray. See, here's a quick look at the back of the packaging, showing all the other Reissues you can buy, giving you a nice dopamine kick, but ultimately will never fill the void inside this expansive, never-ending universe, causing us to buy more and more figures that will eventually last longer than everyone we know. Or maybe it's just because I live in America. Hey, and make sure to subscribe. Over here you have Megatron stats, and it even has the Kenner logo on there, which is a nice tribute to the original packaging. I've talked long enough, now let's open it up. The first thing I noticed about this figure when I opened it up is that it feels really hefty. This really feels like a solid figure, and it's got a lot of great details on it. Articulation-wise, the head can open and close, and if you fill it up with water, it should spray when you open his mouth. His tiny T-Rex arms almost have a 360 movement, but his massive thunder thighs get in the way, just like how my anxiety gets in the way of me talking to women. Legs can move back and forth, and they can move in and out like that with a beautiful sounding ratchet joint. He has a fantastic leg spread in his alt mode, revealing his Megatricity. Also, does that screw being off center bother anyone else? Also, gotta love the sound of ratchet joints. Some toe movement, and that's really it for the dinosaur mode, which once again I will say looks fantastic. The only thing is that the screw holes kind of ruin it a little bit, especially having some at the head over here. But now we must try the water feature, which is right under here. Bring that out. For this, you put the water in here, and then to spray it, you pump this. I know exactly what we all are thinking about this. It's not working. Looks like no matter how many pumps I give it, it does not work. I'm gonna go drain that. It also comes with some projectiles that you can stick right in his thighs. There's a little hole right there, and you just push it in. And it's the same on both sides. And now for the transformation, which is super simple. You start off by splitting his back open, pull out his head, open the tail, bring this forward with an amazing ratchet joint, which also unsprings the tail. Flip these out, turn him around facing this way, bring him down, rotate both of his legs. Then you want to open these on his head. Don't forget to push him back and snap him into place. And then you want to make sure his thighs are rotated this way. And here is the figure in robot mode. I would compare this to the original release if I had one, but unfortunately I do not. All the dinosaur details look great on him. His chest area has some molded details on there. I think the head sculpt is pretty decent. It's a slightly more so exaggerated version from the show. The red eyes and angry mouth really make the face pop out. Most of my complaints for this figure are generally going to be invalid because it's a reissue of an older toy that came out in the 90s. So it's unfair for me to compare it to modern standards, but I'm gonna do it anyway. Even with the molded detail, the chest looks kind of bland and I wish it had some paint on it. Along with that, this figure has a lot of kibble. The back kibble on this thing is a sin to God. Yes, the original figure also had some back kibble, but I don't care, I'm still complaining. The mutant head mask looks really weird sticking out like that. It looks dumb and I hate it. Fight me in the comments. Now this figure does have some differences from the original figure. First thing is that the head is black instead of silver, and it really blends in with the mutant head gimmick, and the overall colors are much deeper than the original, which I do think was a good choice because it just makes the figure pop more. Here it is next to Beast Wars Megatron from the Cybertron line. The dinosaur parts on this one have a more mechanical look to them, while this one has a more organic look to it. And yes, this is a different Megatron, but here it is side by side with the Siege Voyager Megatron. And if you press this button here on his thunder thighs, it shoots that out. Now on to articulation. The head can spin 360 degrees, although some of the pieces get in the way, making it a little bit difficult. The shoulders can go 360. Inside the shoulders, that can also go 360. The left arm can bend in and out, and this part can move back and forth. I don't know if this is supposed to move the tail or not, but on mine it doesn't. Posability here, the arm can bend like that. The dinosaur head can go 360 degrees. And the dinosaur mouth can move, but the T-Rex head has no posability. The waist can move 360. Thigh pieces can spin 360. And if you bring them down, you can get a nice leg split. And once again, these ratchet joints are so satisfying. Man, I should really put up a 10-hour recording of just ratchet joints. The legs can move up and back that far. Knees can bend, and toe movement. Older figures never really had a whole lot of posability in the first place, and I honestly feel like I'm trying to fight it to get into what poses I want. And despite being a reissue, I still think that's something you should know. This costs around $53 on the Hasbro Pulse website, but it is not worth that money. I got this on sale at Amazon for $25, and I believe it's $30 right now, which is a much better price for this. And if you like Beast Wars or had the original figure, then this is the figure for you. Trust me, I get nostalgia. That's why I'm excited for Commander of the Stars. Yes, despite my monotone voice, I do experience emotion. This figure shows Transformers have come a long way since the 90s. Now, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Check out my Patreon, where you can support me, and I'll post my toy photography for only $1 a month. And if you want more Transformers reviews, check out this figure right here. Also, is now a good time to mention I've never seen Beast Wars?